Welcome to the Daily Drop on Pro Ball Daily. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tara, and we are absolutely buzzing today because the sports world decided to just absolutely go off the rails, didn't it, Mike? We've got upsets, we've got shockers at the top of the power rankings, and a certain Motor City team just dropping jaws left and right.
You know it, Tara. Today's show is going to be a wild one. We're talking about everything from the San Francisco Giants somehow being the best team in baseball, according to our power index, to the Detroit Pistons staging a full-on revolution against a playoff contender. This isn't just a daily drop. It's a daily explosion of sports news.
Explosion is right. We need to dive headfirst into MLB because honestly, I'm still trying to process our power index top 5. The San Francisco Giants at number 1 with 69.4 points. Mike, are we in an alternate universe?
I'm staring at the data, Tara, and my eyes are telling me the same thing. The Giants sitting pretty at the top, above the Braves, above the Yankees, above the Dodgers. I mean, I know they've had some strong starts in the past, but historically, are they really a team you consistently peg for the top spot? I'm skeptical. Are we seeing early season overperformance?
Exactly. I'm calling hot start on this one. Yes, they're playing well. Their pitching must be absolutely lights out to earn that kind of rating, and they're clearly getting contributions across the board. But to be above the Atlanta Braves, who, let's be real, are perennial contenders, or the New York Yankees with their star-studded lineup, it just feels ambitious. I need to see more consistent high-level performance over a longer stretch before I fully buy into the Giants as the undisputed best team in baseball.
I think you're right to be cautious. And then we've got the Miami Marlins sneaking into the 5th spot with 64 points. The Marlins, that's another eyebrow raiser. Is this a testament to the parity in baseball, or are we just witnessing some incredibly strong individual performances skewing the early numbers? What's going on down there in South Florida?
I think with the Marlins, it's a case of a young, hungry team finally clicking. They've got some serious talent bubbling under the surface, and if their pitching can hold up and they get some clutch hitting, they can definitely surprise people. But again, top 5, it suggests they're playing near perfect baseball right now, and that's hard to sustain over 162 games.
Absolutely. Speaking of individual performances, we saw Brenton Doyle of the Rockies drop a 70 MLB rating in their dominant 13-2 win over Arizona. A 70 MLB rating is just insane, Tara. What do you make of a performance like that?
That's a put the team on your back kind of game, Mike. A 70 rating in one game means he was probably hitting for power, getting on base, playing stellar defense, maybe stealing a bag or two. He was literally everywhere. For the Rockies, who aren't usually known for dominating scorelines, a performance like that can be a real spark. It shows what one player on fire can do, even if the team isn't a top contender. It gives the fans something to cheer about for sure.
And then we had some really tight games, like Milwaukee losing 0-1 to Cleveland. Pitching duels are always fun, but you've also got the Yankees barely scraping by Detroit 4-3, and a slight upset with Washington beating Houston 3-2. Shows you that even the top teams can be pushed to the brink.
It absolutely does, and it underscores how razor-thin the margin for error is in MLB. But let's look at some of these trends because they're telling a story. The Oakland Athletics went 67% in March, which is a massive 10.4 points above their season baseline. That's a huge surge for a team that's often overlooked.
The A's, defying expectations. You love to see a team just find their rhythm. What's clicking for them? Is it a revamped lineup, some young pitcher stepping up, or just a really strong collective effort? Because that kind of month-over-month improvement can turn heads. If they can carry that momentum forward, they could be a real spoiler team.
It's all about momentum. And then on the flip side, the Boston Red Sox, another historic franchise, went 30% in March, which is a whopping 10 points below their season baseline. Ouch. That's a tough stretch for the Fenway faithful.
Yikes, 30% in a month is rough. That speaks to bigger issues than just a few bad games. Are we talking about a slump for key players? Or is there a fundamental problem with their rotation or bullpen? Boston fans are not patient, Tara. They expect contender status. A trend like that is going to put a lot of pressure on the coaching staff and front office.
They definitely expect results. And the Cincinnati Reds also went 45%, almost 11 points below their baseline. So it's not just Boston struggling. It seems March was a month of big swings for several teams, both good and bad.
Let's pivot to the ice, because the NHL Power Index also has some surprises at the top. The Buffalo Sabres are number 1 with 79.3 points, followed by the Islanders, Canadiens, Panthers, and Hurricanes. The Sabres, Tara, what are they drinking in Buffalo?
I love it, Mike. Finally, some respect for the Sabres. This isn't just a fluke. They've been building something special for a few seasons now, accumulating young talent, and it looks like it's finally coalescing. They're playing fast, aggressive hockey, and their goaltending has to be phenomenal to be rated above some of the more established Eastern Conference powerhouses. This isn't just a hot streak, it's a statement.
I'm not denying their talent, Tara, but number 1? They're a young team. Do they have the depth, the veteran leadership to sustain that kind of performance through the grind of an entire season and into the playoffs? I mean, they just lost to Washington 2-1, right? While a single game isn't everything, it suggests they're not invincible. Are they peaking too early?
Every team has an off night, Mike. That loss to Washington, while not ideal for a number 1 team, doesn't negate the body of work that put them atop our power index. They're showing resilience, they're exciting to watch, and I'm buying the Sabre stock right now. They might not be the household name yet, but they're making a case to be.
All right, I'll give you that they're exciting. But then you look at a team like the Boston Bruins, who, despite their 91% success rate in January, a massive 24.2 points above their season baseline, they just lost to the San Jose Sharks 4-2. What gives there? That's a huge shift from their trend.
That's the cruel mistress of sports, isn't it? Boston was absolutely flying in January, playing some of their best hockey in years. To then lose to San Jose, who isn't exactly setting the league on fire, shows you that you can't rest on your laurels. Maybe they were due for a regression, or maybe it was just one of those nights where the puck bounces the wrong way. But it's a stark reminder that even the hottest teams can be cooled off by anyone, anywhere.
And on the flip side, we had a ridiculous 10-goal game between Toronto and Anaheim, with the Maple Leafs winning 6-4. That's just pure entertainment right there. Forget defensive hockey. That's what fans pay to see.
Absolutely. That's the kind of game that gets you on SportsCenter. Goals galore, back and forth action. Sometimes you just want to see offense dominate, and Toronto and Anaheim delivered on that front. It's a testament to skill and offensive firepower. Let's be real, Mike. Sometimes defense is just boring.
You know what's not boring? The EPL Power Index. Wolves and Wanderers at number 1 with 87.9 points, Everton second at 86.8, and Arsenal a distant third. Where are the Manchester clubs? Where's Liverpool? This is a complete shakeup.
This is the kind of chaos I live for, Mike. Wolves and Everton at the top? That's not a typo. That's a statement. It means they are playing incredibly consistent, winning games they shouldn't, and probably getting some surprising results against the traditional powerhouses. It speaks volumes about their coaching, their tactical discipline, and perhaps some shrewd player acquisitions.
But is it sustainable? We've seen teams rise to the top of the EPL only to fade. Wolves and Everton are solid clubs, but to be ahead of a team like Arsenal, who are consistently in the Champions League picture, suggests an almost flawless run of form. I'm excited for it, but I'm also waiting for the other shoe to drop. Could this be the season of the underdog in the Premier League?
It could be. And Sunderland in 4th, Chelsea rounding out the top 5, it just screams unpredictability. No standout stats today because there weren't any games, but the power index itself is the story here. It's hinting at a Premier League season unlike any we've seen in a long time. A true shakeup from top to bottom.
All right, let's take that energy to the hardwood, because the NBA delivered a shocker that has me rethinking everything. The Detroit Pistons, who went 82% in February and were 13.4 points above their baseline, absolutely blew out the Philadelphia 76ers by 22 points, 131-109. Tara, is this the year the Pistons finally turn the corner?
Oh, Mike, this isn't just turning the corner. This is smashing through the wall and building a whole new highway. A 22-point blowout against a team like the Sixers, who are usually a defensive juggernaut, is not just a fluke. This is a statement game. This trend for the Pistons in February, now manifesting in a dominant win, tells me they've found their identity. They're playing with confidence, their young talent is blossoming, and they're executing. You cannot ignore Detroit anymore.
I'm trying not to, but holding Philly to 109 while scoring 131, that's an offensive explosion and a defensive clampdown. It's comprehensive. And considering the Sixers have Joel Embiid or Tyrese Maxey usually putting up huge numbers, it makes you wonder what went wrong for Philly. Were they just caught flat-footed, or is this a sign of vulnerability for a team many-picked to go deep in the playoffs?
I think it's a bit of both. The Pistons played with an incredible amount of energy and efficiency. For the Sixers, it's a wake-up call. You can't just coast, especially against a team that's suddenly playing with house money and a ton of momentum. And speaking of momentum, look at the power index. San Antonio Spurs at number 1, OKC Thunder at number 2. These are young teams, Mike. The old guard is officially being put on notice.
Absolutely. Phoenix still in the top 3 with their veteran talent, but the youth movement is real in the NBA. We also had the Bulls and Lakers go at it in a high-scoring 142-130 game. LeBron still doing LeBron things, clearly. And Dallas beat Memphis 120-112. But that Pistons game, that's the one that's going to be talked about. It reinforces that February trend of Atlanta and Brooklyn struggling while Detroit was surging. It's a clear indicator of what's happening.
Definitely. Now, a quick glance at La Liga and MLS. No games played today, so no standout stats. But the power index for La Liga has Barcelona at number 1, followed by Getafe at a surprising number 2, then Atletico Madrid. Getafe at second, Mike, that's quite a jump for them.
Getafe sneaking into second is a testament to consistency and grit. They're not always the flashiest team, but they grind out results, play disciplined defense, and if they're